Hello, and thank you for joining us. I'm Sandy Potter, alongside Masonicare President and CEO, JP Venoit, Dr. Ronald Schwartz, our Senior Director for Continuum Health Services, and we're very happy to have a special guest with us once again, Sierra Drevline. She is the Director of Employee Health Services for Masonicare. Welcome back, Sierra, and thanks for joining us again.
Thank you.
Great to have you. Dr. Schwartz, I actually thought we'd begin with you today to speak about the latest news on COVID-19 booster shots. A panel of FDA advisors met last Friday and made their recommendation. Can you give us the update on their decision and the key reasons behind it?
Certainly, Sandy. You know, it's funny, we were just talking before we started to film about how many of these shows we've done. And it's been a long time since I've gone first. So what does that tell you? There's always a lot going on with COVID, and this week is no exception. So today we're going to talk about booster shots. And I do have a nice article here, like I've been presenting. And this one is called 5 Reasons Why FDA Advisors Did Not Recommend COVID-19 Booster Shots for Everyone. And again, this was a fairly long article. I try to condense it, but this involves like 5 main different points why booster shots weren't recommended by the FDA for everyone. And there are a lot of quotes from experts, so I'll be reading them to you. So the article kind of starts out like this. It says, vaccine advisors to the U.S. Food and Drug Administration declined Friday to recommend the agency approve COVID-19 booster doses for everyone who got vaccinated 6 months ago or longer. They did recommend a more limited step, emergency use authorization for people 65 and older, and for people at high risk of getting severe infection. So there's a question, why not just go ahead and say everyone who wants a booster can get one? And members of, and this is a long committee called the Vaccine and Related Biological Products Advisory Committee of the FDA, these are people I'm going to be quoting, were very vocal about why not. So the first point, they think it's too soon. And this is actually a quote from Dr. Paul Offit. He's a professor of pediatrics at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. He said, the stated goal of this vaccine has been to protect against serious illness. Data shows that these vaccines do exactly that. It's exactly what you'd expect. And they go on to say, even Pfizer said its vaccine was still very much preventing severe disease, hospitalizations, and death in the United States with an effectiveness of more than 90%. The company argued that this might not last much longer, but members of this advisory committee didn't buy it. So number 2, they don't see enough evidence to justify booster shots for everyone. So this is a quote from Dr. Mark Sawyer. He's a professor of clinical pediatrics at the University of California in San Diego. And he said, it is my opinion that we need this in our armamentarium, a booster dose now, particularly for the elderly and those with other high-risk conditions. But I share my colleagues' angst about the sparsity of safety data. I am hopeful that CDC rolls this out in a gradual fashion. And Dr. Michael Kurilla, an infectious disease specialist at the National Center for Advancing Translational Sciences, said he suspected Pfizer went too far in extrapolating data on older people to a younger population. So the third point they made, they said they would like a lot more data and a chance to look for mistaken conclusions. So Dr. Philip Krause, he's a deputy director of the FDA's Office of Vaccines Research and Review. He noted that Pfizer was using data that had not been reviewed by experts. And he said one of the issues in this is that much of the data that's been presented and being discussed today is not peer reviewed and has not been reviewed by the FDA. And Krause, along with another FDA vaccine official, Marian Gruber, signed a paper published in The Lancet earlier this week, and that argued that it's too soon to start giving people boosters. And Kurilla noted that Pfizer's studies relied heavily on measuring antibodies without looking at other important aspects of the immune response. So we're almost done. This is number 4. They're worried about younger adults and teens. So this is interesting. Dr. Paul Offit, again, the pediatrician, said, we're being asked to approve this as a 3-dose vaccine for people 16 years of age and older without any clear evidence the 3rd dose for a younger person when compared to an elderly person is of value. And the FDA's Dr. Doran Fink told the meeting the agency was not sure either. And he quoted, we really don't have enough data yet to know what the risk of myocarditis, we talked about in the past, and pericarditis would be following a booster dose. Studies have shown younger adults and older teens, especially males, have a higher risk of this rare heart inflammation after receiving an mRNA vaccine like Pfizer's, although the problem resolves quickly with prompt treatment. Details on this risk might not come out, things said, until after booster doses were given more widely. And finally, and this is an important one, they think it's more important to get more people to get vaccinated the first time around. Dr. Cody Meisner, he's a professor of pediatrics at Tufts University School of Medicine, said he didn't think boosters would significantly contribute to controlling the pandemic. And the quote that he said is, "It is very important that the main message that we still transmit is that we have got to get everyone 2 doses. Everyone has got to get the primary series," he said. So that's a lot of information. You can see it's very controversial. There's a lot of things to consider, and it is being considered. And there are ongoing meetings this week, next week with CDC and the FDA. And I think the take-home message is we just have to follow the news closely and follow the recommendations. But everyone having the patience to listen to my all my explanations and things, I will give you the reward of my inspirational quote for the week, which says, "Shoot for the moon. Even if you miss, you'll land among the stars." And I got this from my famous Masonic Charity Foundation calendar, but it was actually said by Norman Vincent Peale. And just to say, he was an American minister and author who's best known for his work in popularizing the concept of positive thinking. So I guess on that note, we just all have to remain positive. We just have to continue to be vigilant, work together, and we'll continue to get through this and move on and on. So thank everybody for their diligence and cooperation. And once again, health and peace. Thank you.
Thank you so much. As always, Dr. Schwartz, we appreciate your insight. And Sierra, the news from the FDA means you're moving full steam ahead with vaccine clinics for our residents. Can you tell us how that process is going?
Absolutely. So when the White House came out with that September 20th date, we had worked with our pharmacy partners in order to schedule tentatively some dates. So we had about 8 clinic days planned for the following month. With the FDA approval of booster doses for 65 and older on Friday, it really didn't change much for us. It just solidified our calendar. So our first clinic is actually coming up next week, and we hope to get some of those residential settings and the skilled nursing facility starting on their booster shots at that time. So right now, our employees are working very diligently on getting consents and paperwork all set for those clinics, and they'll look similar to our clinics back in the December, January, February timeframe when we worked with our federal pharmacy partnerships, but we'll be working with local pharmacists.
It's great, Sierra. Thank you so much. We know it's a lot of organization and coordination on your part, and we all appreciate it. We know the residents appreciate it so much as well.
Thank you. And I do want to mention too, some of our staff qualify based on these guidelines, and there are, those who would qualify for a 3rd dose, an immunocompromised status. So we'll be working on communications and integrating the staff as applicable as well.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much for being on top of all of that for everybody. And JP, we wanted to end today's video with a very special announcement about someone who is actually right here with us today and has been by our sides at Masonicare for many years now.
Well, I'm gonna prolong that a little bit and say thank you to Sierra and Dr. Schwartz and Sandy for doing these videos. They are definitely informational, and I've gotten a lot of comments from people from the outside saying it's been very helpful. And when we talk about the boosters, one of the things that struck me as Dr. Schwartz talked was following the data. And when you look at what the CDC's really whole process has been to follow the data, and we know, looking at the data, that the vaccines have been working. And I think we should all be very proud and happy that the process of following the data through the CDC and with specifically to the vaccinations and the boosters is being followed. There is a process, and we should all have a little comfort in that they are looking out for the best interest of our country and all those that are being served every day. So I think the data tells the story, and we're going to continue to follow the data here at Masonicare. My announcement is that I have the pleasure to share with you that our Masonicare Senior Director of Continuum Health Services, Dr. Ronald Schwartz, has received a Leading Age Connecticut Humanitarian Award. This award really is given to those individuals who have shown really the integrity, decency, and contributes to older adults through leading age, but also just in our industry. And because of all of Dr. Schwartz's attributes and everything that he has done in the past year, but in his 25-year career here, over 25-year career here in Masonicare, we were honored to present a nomination for Dr. Schwartz to get the Humanitarian Award. And I'm happy to say that he was a recipient and will be recognized at the annual meeting in another few weeks for that award. So we are all very proud of Dr. Schwartz, but more so when Dr. Schwartz got it, I will tell you that, his first instinct was, I don't deserve it. But the reality is everyone that has heard that he's gotten it have all said it's the person to get it. So congratulations, Dr. Schwartz. And we are honored to be able to work alongside you here at Masonicare.
Thank you, JP. It's an honor too. I'll just say one very quick thing, which is something I learned way back when my son was playing baseball. Not that he was that great at playing baseball, but they used to say there is no I in team, and we are a team, and I'm honored to be part of it. So thank you very much for recognizing me, your kind words, and just glad to be here.
Thank you. And I would be remiss to say you are 100% right. It isn't it's a team, and the staff at Masonicare have done an absolutely fantastic job through the pandemic, but just each and every day. So thank you to all of our staff, and thank you to all of our residents, patients, and clients who have been with us during these difficult times. And then last, Dr. Schwartz, there is no I in team, but guess what? You, which is not in team, but you have been one of our leaders through this time. And I want to personally thank you for all that you've done.
Thank you, JP.
Thank you, JP. Just wonderful. Dr. Schwartz, congratulations on this well-deserved honor and for being a true example of, as JP says, Masonicare strong. I really want to thank all of you for sharing your time and all of this information with us today, as always. And we thank you for watching at home once again. Until we see you next time, we hope you'll stay safe and stay well.